Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be opening up the Unearthly Valentine mystery box. I got this, already got stuff on it. I got this in the mail a couple days ago. I haven't had a chance to film with it. I really wanted to open this, kind of show you guys what's in it. I've never tried Unearthly Cosmetics before. I've been interested in the brand for probably a year now. So I figured this would be a good way to try them out because you get a few things in here because I went back and forth on an eyeshadow palette that I wanted to try. So when I heard that they were going to do another mystery box, I was very excited. They did one for Halloween and it was really, really good. So I'm hoping maybe they'll do another Halloween one closer to October because I would be interested in that too. But yeah, if you want to see what's in here, stick around. I will leave a link to them down below and all that stuff. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. It's nice to see you all. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. That helps me out a lot. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not, and let's jump into the video. Okay, I do know what is in this. They did like an initial like PR round and then like a first pre-order. So this box has been out for a little bit. I do know what's in it because I watched some unboxings. I couldn't stand it. So if you don't know, well, obviously we're going to open it. This retails for $99. I don't know if there's any left. I will leave a link to their website down below. They did a second pre-order, which is the one that I picked up. The first one like sold out really, really quickly. I think she was kind of like testing the waters and all of that. But yeah, so it's very nice. It comes in another like mailer, but this is the box. It looks like what you would think like a PR box looks like. So it's very, very nice. Like I said, I do know what's in it. So I did my base makeup and bronzer and highlighter because, spoiler, those are not in here. There is some other stuff in here, but those products were not in here. So I did everything that I would need just so I'd be ready to go. So you open it up and it's got foam. It's packaged really, really well. Another piece of foam. And then this is the box. So and then it's sitting in little like hard foam. So very, very nice. You get a pressed pigment palette because I think this is vegan. So there's no carmine in it, so it's not labeled as eyeshadow. A blush palette, and then 3 satin liquid lipsticks. The Halloween box came with 3 mini quads. You get the same number of eyeshadows if you picked the Halloween box up and were wondering about this. It's the same number of eyeshadows, but instead of doing 3 quads, she did 1 large palette. So that's why the number of pieces in here is different than the Halloween one, because this is 5 and I believe that one was 7 because like I said, she did 3 individual quads. So same number of eyeshadow, it's just in 1 instead of 3. The Halloween one came with a highlighter palette. This comes with a glowing blush palette, so that's fun. And then like I said, these are the satin liquid lipsticks. I prefer matte just because I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I used to do hair, so I'm not a gloss person just because, you know, when you're cutting hair, it's gross. And then I have small children, so I prefer the old school matte, transfer proof, lock it in kind of a formula, but I'm excited to try these. So let's open all of the pieces and see what we have. So I took all of the components out of the box. That's a really like hefty box. I'm actually going to save that and take the foam out of it and use it for something else. So I'm going to swatch some of the eyeshadows. I'm not going to swatch them all. I will link a couple of videos of other people swatching the whole palette since it's been out for a while. I don't like to swatch the whole palette if it's something that's been out for a while, unless I get a lot of requests to, just because if your hands are not super clean, the oils from your skin can cause hard panning on some formulas. So I'm going to swatch the shimmers just because I've never used their stuff before, so I'm not familiar with their formulas. But generally, other than that, I don't like to do the whole thing. Like I said, if you want me to swatch the whole palette and do like a live swatching, leave me some comments. But unless I get requests to, just for that reason, because you can cause hard panning if you're a heavy swatcher and your hands aren't super clean. So just FYI. So this is the Surrender eyeshadow and pressed pigment. Like I said, carmine is generally in pinks, reds, and purples. It's crushed beetles. So anything that's vegan is not going to have that. So they're using other things to create those pigments. They could cause staining. So if you're sensitive to staining, just keep that in mind. But it's generally going to be the pinky and purpley shades. So yeah, like I said, there's what would be 3 quads. She just put it all in one, which I think is nice because not everybody wants a little quad. But like those 3 quads, you could use them together. But I like that I think she's kind of mixing it up, and she may have gotten some feedback that people would have preferred it all together. So that may be why she did it this way this time. So I like, because if you look, like this could be an eye color. Like if you're looking at the 4 quadrants, this could be a look and this could be a look, and then you can mix and match. So I think that's fun. And then we'll do swatches at the end. So there's the eyeshadow palette. Okay, got boxes here for days. It's been a while since I've done an unboxing, so I apologize if this feels like it's disjointed. I used to do unboxings all the time, and then I kind of got away from it. So here's the blush palette. Like I said, I do know what's in here, and I did kind of open some of this. I will say in person, these don't look close. Like when I watched the initial videos, these looked very close on camera. They don't look similar in person. But again, we'll swatch here in just a second. I'm going to open everything and then we'll swatch. Let me know if you would prefer me to swatch as I go. I can go back to that. So we have 3 satin liquid lipsticks. Here's the little carton. The packaging is super cute on everything. And then she has like the snow globe top on these, which is super fun. So this is Flirt. Looks like a pinky mauve shade. Like I said, I'm not a huge satin lipstick wearer. I have a 1-year-old and a 4-month-old, so I prefer something that's not going to move. But that's just me. We have Dreamy, which is a nude. I like that not everything is red. There's wearable shades. Like that's a relative term. Wearable is whatever you want it to be, but more everyday colors. And then another nude. Win Delight. Okay, so I'm going to go. We will start. We're going to start. So I'm just going to do the shimmers. We have Seductive, Captivating, Mesmerizing, and Intoxicating. These are the first 4. I will generally swatch a shimmer when I'm trying a new brand, just so I can get a feel for the formula. Like I said, I don't like to swatch the mattes unless I get requests to. Because like I said, that's something like if you have hard panning, sometimes it can be because like your oils transfer. And then Radiant and Alluring are the last 2. And there's some different textures in here. Alluring is this last shade. Feels a little creamier. It almost feels like an Adept, which is that shade. So there's all of the shimmers right there. Very, very nice. Okay, so let's go into the blush. We have Passionate, Romantic, and Luscious. We have a berry shade, a more pinky shade in Romantic, and then Luscious looks, I would say, peachy, yeah, apricot-y, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so there's the blush shades right there. There is Passionate, the berry, Romantic, the pink, and then Luscious right there. And they are very, very almost metallic-y. So if you don't like a shimmery blush, you may not care for this, but you can go in with a powder blush in a similar tone and diffuse, or you can go in with a translucent powder if you don't want to add any more pigment, and that will tone down the shimmer too. So if you don't want it super glowy, and you have this, that is an option. I like all shimmer, like I want to look like a disco ball, so that doesn't bother me. And we are gonna try these products out. I will do an eye look, and then let's swatch. I love the packaging on this. So let's do the pink one first. I don't know where I'm going to put these. Maybe down my arm here. Smells like vanilla. So this is a deeper berry. It definitely looks lighter in the tube. So that is, I've heard this formula is very comfortable. Flirt. And then we have Delight. They all smell the same, which is a deeper nude. Like I said, I like that it's not all like reds and pinks. That's kind of fun. And you can change like the shades of these nudes using different colored lip liners. And then Dreamy. So if you went in with a pinkier lip liner, especially under Dreamy, you can make that look more pink. But I like that you've got some variety there and they're not all just pinks and reds. So yeah, there we go. There's all the swatches. Like I said, all the shimmer shades, the blushes, and the lipsticks. And then let's jump into okay, we're going to start out with lips. I just lined my lips. This is the Revolution lip liner. This is the Soph X collab, the lighter one that she did. I don't know what shade this is. It just has a number on it. But she did a couple lip kits in her last, like the Soph X collab. So it's just it's like a peachy nude color. And I'm going to go in with Dreamy, which is the lightest shade. Just because I'm probably going to take the lip color off later. Make sure I'm using the right ones. Oh, nope. I almost went in with the darker. They look similar in the tube, but those are clearly not. Almost went in with the darker one. We want Dreamy. So I just, yeah, it's kind of a pinky, peachy nude color for the lip liner. And then I'll go in with this. I would say it's pretty opaque. I like this color. I just did blend it, and that's pretty much covering everything, so that's nice. And I could see if you wanted to mix, like this would definitely diffuse these two shades. If you like put those on and then wanted to like ombre it a little bit, you could definitely do that with this also, so that's fun. So there is Dreamy on the lips. I try and put things back as I go because there ends up being too much junk on my desk. So let's do the blush and then we'll do an eye look. I'm kind of inclined to just jump in and do this middle shade. I've been kind of on a pinky blush kick. So let's see. I like the e.l.f. like blush brush. I do think they've changed this because I bought a new one recently and I will say it's not as good. My old one's on the verge of falling apart, so that's kind of a bummer, but I don't know how pigmented this is. I tapped in a few times and I do have highlighter on. I used Mars Melter from Kaleidos, and I like to take blush kind of up in the temple area too. Very pigmented. I do have bronzer on, but that's pretty though, and it is kind of melts in with that highlighter, which I figured it would because Mars Melter is definitely a pinkier highlighter. So you could definitely get away with no highlighter with this because these do have enough of a sheen that I think if you take it farther up than what I'm doing, you definitely wouldn't need a highlighter. And then I like the blushy nose. I was doing that before it became popular just because I am so fair. I like it on the chin and the nose just because it gives some color. Like I said, now it's, what do they call it? Cold girl makeup or whatever they're calling it. I was doing it before that, up in here, down in here, just because, like I said, I'm very, very fair and I feel like it gives some more dimension to my face. That's definitely shimmery, but I think it's pretty. I feel like I went in more on this side, so let's try and make this match. I did go a little bit blush heavy. We're going to try and make these match, and then I think I might try and go in and diffuse just a little bit. So I'm just going to go in with the powder brush. just kind of rounding the edge, not all the way up, because like I said, I don't mind. I'm gonna go like the beginning of my cheek, kind of down near the edge. So if you get too heavy, use your powder brush. There's no additional powder on it, but I'm just taking it again around the edge so I don't have a harsh line, because these are pigmented. I'm gonna kind of go up where I put it on the temples just to make sure we're blended in and it doesn't look like I've just got a strip of pigment. So there we go. I'm going to put some eyeshadow primer on and kind of figure out what kind of look I'm going to do, and we'll come back and we'll try out the palette. Okay, so this is what I came up with. So we have the fun part of trying to remember what I did. I didn't use actual primer today. Normally I use the Gerard Clean Canvas, which is essentially concealer, but I was testing out new like concealer brushes, so it's just regular concealer. I think I have the Item Beauty one. It's already dried down, so it's not tacky. If you want your shadows to be super impactful, go in with a wet base, but blending can take longer, so if you want like super pigment, you can go that route with it, but I just have concealer. So I'm going to start off with the deepest shade in Bustier. It is the brown, and I'm going darkest to lightest. You don't have to go about it this way. You're going to get the most pigment out of your darkest shade going in with it first, because obviously you're not layering it. You're going straight in on that, you know, whatever base you've kind of got down. So I'm just using, it's like a dough color brush. The writing's kind of come off of it, but it's equivalent to the Sigma E25, which I will be going in next. And I'm just going to soften the edges just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go in, and I just have a color switch, so I'm going to color switch in between. I'm going to go in with the actual E25, and the next deepest shade, I'm already getting animal hair. Sensual, I have 3 dogs, so there's always hair. I do like with this palette, and I'm going to go around the edges, that there's some neutrals, like you have a pretty mustard in here. So you don't have to do like straight up like reds and pinks. You can do, with the brown, you could do a pretty neutral look. And then I'm just going to come in the front of where that brown is. These colors blend really nicely into each other. I didn't have to do much blending with the sensual shade. And then this, I'm also going to take it into my crease. I have a 4-month-old, if you can hear her in the background. It's one of those days. Yesterday she napped for like 3 hours. Today she'll do like 20 minutes here and there and doesn't want to nap. It's always when I'm trying to do something that it's like, nope, no nap today. Okay, so I took Sensual into the crease. And then next I went in with Generous, which is, where to go? Right here. It's this lighter, like it's a mauve color. It looks lighter on camera than it does in the pan, like in the viewfinder. When I hold the palette up, it looks lighter. And I think, I'm not sure what that lightest pink shade name is called, how to pronounce that, but they look similar when you hold the palette up. They're not in person. Just going to take that around the edge. This is very, very easy. I didn't do anything crazy just because I never having used the brand. I'm just trying to get a feel for the formula, how stuff blends out. And then I'll do a little more involved eye look. So leave me a comment down below if you want to see another look with this palette. I'm going to go in now. I went in with that lightest pink shade just around the edge. I'm going to go into Radiant and then this other shade in Alluring under the brow bone. And then I'll blend it again with that lightest pink shade. Like I said, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that word, so I'm not going to try because I don't want to sound like a dingbat. So, no additional product, and I'm just blending that under the brow and then making sure this is blended. These blend really effortlessly. I will say there's a little kick up in the pan, so don't like go in super hard because you're going to end up with a ton of fallout. I just tapped in pretty lightly, and I'm just going to make sure, because it always seems like whenever I feel, I'm just going to go back and forth between the berry shade and that mauve shade just to make sure that they match, because that always seems to happen when I'm filming. Like one eye will end up darker than the other eye. Never fails. I think that's pretty close. I said never fails, and that comes with, you know, not doing them at the same time. A normal person's not going to have that issue when you're doing them at the same time. So next I'm going to go in with the NYX glitter glue on just a flat brush. This is a Morphe brush, but Morphe does not make this brush anymore. I tried to go on and look. I'm squeezing. I might need, oh, there it goes. I was going to say, I know this is an older tube, but there's still stuff in it. I just used it. And I use the NYX glitter glue with every shimmer. I don't like to wet the shadows or wet my brush, so this is just another way to go about getting more impact. And then the main lid shade is Seductive, so it's kind of a duochrome, goes from like a pink peach to a gold. And then I'm going to take some of Intoxicating to kind of help blend between that and the brown. And then I took a little bit of Captivating, the more bronzy, just on the edge. And then in the inner corner, we're going to do Alluring again. So we're going to go in that order. So we're going to start with Seductive, which I said is a duo chrome, kind of orangey pink to a bronze shift. And I can swatch it again. It's like a pink to a gold. It's very, very pretty. And then I just have a towel up over here. I go back and forth between like kind of this level shade and then wanting to go lighter. Part of me wanted to kind of put Alluring on top of this, but I decided not to, just because I go through phases where I like a super light sparkly lid and then sometimes I don't. So then Intoxicating, that kind of cranberry, I think this has a little bit of a shift to it too, maybe, is gonna go in between that and the brown. I like to go about this with my finger, get the most color payoff, and it pretty much blends itself, I've noticed, when I go about this application. And then with that same brush, I just cleaned it off, that Captivating just a little bit. And that's going to help blend even more. I will say these were super like effortless, like super easy to blend. Very, very easy formula to work with. So if you've never tried Unearthly, I would recommend it. So I'm going to take Alluring. It's the pinky. Again, this is kind of like a duochrome shade. So that's what's kind of layered under my brow bone. I'm going to take it a little bit up into the lid. And then we're going to take it a little bit down into the lower lash line. So on the lower lash line with just kind of a chubby smudger brush, we're going to do Intoxicating, which is that cranberry shade we used in between. I'm going to go all the way to the end. I'm going to take a little bit of Captivating, which was that bronzy shade just down here, just to kind of deepen up that bottom. I could go in with the matte brown, but that helped kind of do the same thing. And then on a little bit fluffier brush, we're going to do Sensual, which is the kind of matte cranberry. So we're going to put that on the bottom. I have lines under my eyes, so I like a pretty blown out lower lash line. it kind of helps hide the lines. They're not straight up wrinkles yet, but it's definitely not smooth under there. And then on that little brush, we're going to take Alluring again, which is that light shade that we put in the inner corner, and I'm just going to bring that over. And then I think I took a tiny bit of that lightest pink shade just underneath that, just to make sure we're blended. Like I said, these blended out super easy, super effortlessly. I think this looks really pretty. I'm gonna put on some sort of liner, mascara, lashes, something down in my waterline, and I will come back and show you it all complete. Okay, so this is the look all complete. I just added, these are little like 3/4 lashes from Amazon. The liquid liner is Makeup Revolutions. I forgot that I had it, so I figured I'd use it. And then it's an LA Girl, it's actually a lip liner, but I use it as an eyeliner. It's a hot pink. So I added that in the lower lash line to make it a little more pink. But I really like how this turned out. Like I said, this has been on for a little bit. Super comfortable formula. But as you can see, it is not completely transfer proof. So just be aware of that with their satin formula. Very, very comfortable. It doesn't really feel like I have anything on, which is nice. It's not goopy feeling or anything like that. I like the blushes. Very, very pigmented. I went a little bit heavy-handed on this side. I think this side is still darker than the other side. Of course it is. Of course. Try and make this. I mean, if you go heavy on one side, you're committing at that point, I guess. But yeah, they are pigmented, so just be aware. You definitely could use these as eyeshadows too. They're very, very pretty. So you could easily kind of put this on the lid too and get a similar look. And the packaging is like very hefty and nice feeling too. Super nice. Like I said, on camera, these look very similar. This is definitely deeper and they translate differently on the eyes. This definitely looks mauve. You can definitely tell on the eyes that this is a light shade. I like all the shimmers. Again, you've got some like duochromes in here, which is cool. Some different textures. This is definitely like, I don't want to use the word oily, but definitely the most slippy of the shimmers, but it's really, really pretty. It's one of the like shifty shades. The one that I use, Seductive, is like a pink to like a bronzy shift. I again like that you've got like the neutrals. You could definitely do more red or pink. Really, really nice palette. Leave me a comment and let me know if you want me to do another look with this. I was thinking maybe of doing more of a halo eye next time, so I can definitely do that. Let me know what you guys thought of this collection. I think it's really cool. I like the packaging on everything is really nice. I like that these look different, so you're not getting confused because they're both red. And then, yeah, the packaging on this is really fun. So if you've never tried Unearthly Cosmetics, I would definitely consider it. I've looked at, I think it's the Lure palette, the kind of autumn looking one. And then the Sleepover palette, which is, I think that was their Valentine palette last year. It's kind of an all pink palette. So those are definitely the ones that I'm looking at. And then I think they re-released a couple of their Halloween palettes in different packaging. I'm looking at the Weirdos palette also. So yeah, definitely check them out if you haven't. I really, really like everything that I tried. And again, I'm hoping they come out with a Halloween mystery box because I would definitely be willing to pick that up. But yeah, let me know if you've tried Unearthly, if you like them. Again, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And hopefully I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.